Hello everyone, and welcome to the RNG University on tonight's episode, Legendary Esper. So, this is another one of the very popular decks that's being run in today's meta, and it is all creatures. What do you know? It is just entirely packed full of creatures because a lot of our opponents are either mono whites or white-blue soldiers, and they like to run Thalia. Well, guess what? We got our own Thalia, and we have nothing else that's gonna get taxed by her. So, here is what this deck looks like. We start off in the 2 drops category because we have a lot of tap lands. We have 4 Thalia, 2 Jadar, 2 Denic to help us gain life, and 2 LSL Core Sadistic Pilgrim to help us gain life, help our drain our opponent, and also have a Death Touch in case our opponent has something big that we need to block and kill. So, in the 2 drop category, you can see it's pretty hefty. There's a lot of different sort of rares, mythics, and it's gonna actually there's no mythics here, but a lot of rares, right, to help us stave off the early game and have board presence. It's very important to have board presence with this deck because going to turn 3, we're gonna have 4 Adeline, coupled with Thalia. She is a very, very good creature to bring out more creatures, obviously, but also just have a vigilance threat on the board. And of course, we have 4 Rafine, so that we can have a lot of connivingness going on. And Rafine is just very good, right? It forces a cut down right away that costs us 2 mana, and if we're on the play, it's going to put our opponent on the back foot. If we're on the draw, at the very least, we can try to make it even. And if we happen to have Thalia out, it's going to force a cut down that costs 3 mana. And if our opponent, for whatever reason, running white and black and has their own Thalia, it's going to force a 4 mana cut down, which is insane. And if Rafine ever gets to a connive for a +1/+1 counter, well, cut down doesn't work anymore. So it forces that mentality of making your opponent use a cut down on it as soon as they can, even if they're playing off curve or if it's not the optimal play. So that's a bit of a psychology in there. And we have 1 Giraffe Visionary Stitcher. And the only reason why this card is in the deck, which I believe from a lot of decks that I've seen, what I've noticed is that they always have 1 Giraffe for that one line, right? The second line, the blue tap, sack a non-token creature to create an XX blue zombie, it's not a big deal. Maybe we can sack a legendary to have a second legendary in play that doesn't legend rule itself, like if we have 2 Thalia in our hand or something like that. But mostly, it's to give our zombies flying. We're going to have a lot of zombies in the deck, and that's something that we'll talk about when we get to 4 drops. But at the end of our 3 drop, we also have Toulouse. Now, a lot of deck lists I've seen runs 1 Toulouse. I'm going to run 2. The reason for that is because I only have 2 Urtai, and I didn't want to go craft another one. So, I have another Toulouse in. She is very good at continuously giving us value as long as she dies and doesn't get exiled. There's not that much exile effects. So, sometimes you got to be careful. If going against mono black, if going against mono blue, they may have either exile or bounce effects that stops the secondary ability, right? The secondary ability is that whenever you discard a card, that card goes under Toulouse, and when Toulouse dies, all those cards goes back in your hand. So you don't really lose the card if you discard it for a discard effect like Connive. So that's very important. And then, on the 4 drop, of course we have 4 Shieldred. Shieldred is just that good. But we also have 4 Ratadrabik. I can never pronounce this word. Ratatouille. Right? So, this guy is, as you recall from my previous games, is insane. He has Ward 2, so it's not very easy to get rid of unless you have a Field Cling, or you want to pay 4 mana for a Go for the Throat, which is just 1 for 1. But also, he makes all of our legendary creatures into zombies when they die. You know how crazy that is? When we have zombies, all zombies have vigilance, and then all zombies also have ward. Or not ward, sorry, flying. So it's gonna be a flying vigilant zombie army that overruns our opponent with just 1 Rafine Connive. It's insane if we can get it off. And of course we have 2 Urtai to have somewhat of a instant interaction with our opponent, even though our whole deck is creatures. We have that flash, we got counterspell, we got removal, all in 1 creature, which is why it's very good. You might want to run 3. If you have 3 off, you definitely want to cut a Toulouse and put in another Urtai, but I don't have another one. And I want to go out and craft one because this deck is hefty enough in terms of mythics and legendaries. Everything is a mythic or a rare, right? Rare, mythic, rare. This deck is very expensive. So if you cannot afford fully understand, and there is no alternative to have a budget version of this deck. This deck is Esper Legends. So, and then in the 5-drop, we have 2 AO. The AOs are really just there to help us bring out these smaller drops when it dies. Rarely ever does the +1/+1, or the 2 +1/+1s, but sometimes it might happen. I haven't seen it happen, but you never know, right? It's good to have that modal effect. Also, one of the biggest thing that's kind of hidden in this deck, that a lot of people may overlook, is that the amount of vigilance we get going on in the deck. And vigilance is important in a meta that's full of Wandering Emperors. So that's why AO still makes the cut, because he is also vigilant. I don't know. Alright, then let's talk about the lands. So we actually have a lot of lands in the deck. We have 27 lands because we have a lot of channel lands, right? 2 Agonjo, 2 Otawara, 2 Takenuma, 4 Rafine Tower. It's not channel, but it's cycle, right? So these are all discard lands, and the beauty of discard land is that they synergize with Toulouse. So they're not just a land. They're also effects that, affect kind of like spells that gets under Athalia attacks. That's very important. And then, of course, we have the other basic lands. We have Plain, Island, Swamp, 2 Adarkar Ways, 2 Deserted Beach, 2 Cave of Koilos, 2 Shattered Sanctum, 2 Shipwreck Marsh, and then 4 Plaza of Heroes. So it's kind of 2 of each of the dual lands, except the underwater river, the blue-black ping land. We don't have that because we don't have that many black spells, right? We got Urtai, we got Shieldred, we got Jadar. We don't have any blue spells, I should say. We got Urtai, Giralf, and Dennick, right? So we don't need that much blue mana. We have the blue-white mana, and then we have the black-white mana, because we have a lot of white spells and a lot of black spells. So that is why, we don't have the black and blue ping land, but we do have the white and black ping land, and the white and blue ping land. So that's all there is. And if you have any sort of mixture of those lands, you don't have to go and craft 2 of each, right? Any mixture of these could work, because this deck does only come off on turn 2. There's no turn 1 play. So feel free to drop a tap land on turn 1, and hopefully you get one of these lands, or a Plaza Heroes, or your basic lands. Those are all untapped anyways. So that is the deck. Let us try it out. Alright, once you achieve a ranked badge, you can't lose it until the season ends. Really? I feel like I ranked down before. Alright, we're playing against Hart. I wonder if his first name is Kevin. Alright, we get to go first. 2 Thalia and a Ratadrabik. Alright, this is gonna be insane. Alright, we're gonna play it as though we were blue-eye control. Oh, look, you got red mana. You got a little Phoenix chick here gonna attack us. No, Kumano. Ow. All right, let's hold up the trickery some more. Here's Thalia. All right, it's mono red, monetary Swiss Sphere. It's a 2/3. Not gonna block it. Too scary. Otawara. Well, okay, we're not going off to a good start here, but it is what it is, We could use Otawara this turn, so it's not an entirely dead turn, but it's a bit scary. End the festivities. Okay, he's gonna kill my Thalia, so in return, I'm gonna bounce his Swiss Sphere. I know he can recast it, but if my Thalia dies, I won't be able to channel it at all. Yep. Okay, I could play out the Ratadrabik. I don't think he can block it this turn, but I do want to pull out the Shieldred as soon as I can, so let's just tax him first. That's why I play the Rafine Tower, because I don't have 2 blacks. This deck is very fast, and it's very scary. And we did not get off a good enough early game because we missed a 3-drop. 2-drop play with fire. Reckless Impulse. That's a good card. That's a good card. Goldarian Epicure. Alright, I can play a Shieldred. Would that even help? Let's see. I can block one thing and die to 5 damage, huh? It's kind of scary, but we need to do it. I hope all those are lands and he bricks, but it's not very likely against a mono red burn. Alright, so is there any way we could have played this game better? I don't think so. There was no other way. Maybe the mulligan, but I had 2 Thalia and 3 lands. I feel like that would have been a kept no matter what the other cards were. Too bad we didn't draw a 3-drop. That was the only thing. We did draw a channel. I guess that's kind of a 3-drop, so we didn't have a dead turn either. It was just a very scary game. Alright, he's impulsing. Impulse does not, trigger Shieldred. It's very annoying. Card's very good for that. Maybe he bricks. Oh, maybe he bricks. One can only hope, right? He's not doing anything right now. We've got 2 Ratatouilles. Squeeze. Okay, I guess the Monetary Swift Spear is the scariest since it grows. Squeeze is a bit scary too, but we'll just come back. Oh, come on! No way this was serious. Alright, we're gonna die. We died to 3 damage. Actually, we died to 2 damage. Mechanized Warfare. Now we died to almost any damage. That's 2 damage. What does he also have? Oh, come on! What's with the slow play? Okay, well, our opponent's got it, even though he was not a very good player. I'm not saying that his plays were bad. I'm saying he was very rude in holding up a game-winning play for like 5 minutes. What if I blocked? No, I don't think there was a better way to come out of that game. Now we are playing against Warpro. Opponent goes first, and we only have 2 lands. Got a mulligan because these 2 lands do not cast our only 2-drop. It's too bad. Now we have 3 lands, and we have a lot of Adeline. Guess we'll put back an Adeline. White, Guardian of Nubenalia. Huh. No 2-drops, even though we have like 10 in the deck. And we go second. So, this deck is very popular, but unfortunately it seems like the... What is it called? The... Shuffler do not like this deck either. Alright, we can drop an Adeline or we can drop a Rafine. I don't know if either of those really mean much. Dropping an Adeline, we have to take 1 damage. Dropping a Rafine means that we can hold up our Otawara, which might be important, but, you know, chances are he's just going to, is it crew? Is that what it's called? No, enlist his Valiant Veteran. So either way, I'm not blocking, right? Well, 3 life extra. Well, 2 to the bottom. There are probably 2 planes. Take 5. Alright, we got a Rafine up to a Rafine. Or we can Urtai. I don't think Urtai does anything. We can kill the Guardian. We can kill the Valiant Veteran. And he draws a card. Playing a Rafine, does that do anything? It can block these 2. Yeah, if I Urtai the Valiant Veteran next turn, this goes down, and then he's gonna crew it or enlist it. Ha! This is a bad play either way. We need some card draws. This deck does not work very well on the back foot, as you can clearly see, right? If we got off to a better start, or if we had to go first, we would have been in a much more commanding position. Unfortunately, now we're just gonna lose, because that's a lot of damage coming through. Okay, we don't have any field clean, so I'm just gonna quit. That's GG already. Like I said, we need our 2 drops. Mulliganing, you saw the mulligan. We did not get any 2 drops, and our land base was just as bad as our first hand, so we weren't going to win that game. Let's try again. This time we're playing against Urkhan. Okay, Urkhan says I get to go first. Getting to go first is fun. We got a Jadard, so maybe we can play off this hand. We only have 2 lands though, so it's kind of scary. We do need to draw a 3rd land, but we have 27 lands in the deck. Our opponent's roping on their mulligan, and this is a cute little rolly guy. I don't even know what pet this is. Oh, well, we got it. If I control no creature with decay, I get a creature with decay. That's fun. Next turn, we're going to... Oh, no, he's tap land. Okay. We're going to Rafine him. Alright, we can pitch our... AO is kind of slow, because this is... I don't want to pitch my Adeline, but I also don't want to pitch my... Oh, I'll pitch the Cave. Our opponent quits. I'm still deciding on what to pitch. But, you know, going first with a 2-drop, not a lot of player wants to play through that. But I like the abuse, so I played through it, you know. Alright, we got 1 game under our belts. Now, the deck import button. I think we already saw this before. Get some new hints. How about a hint like the shuffler will screw you if you don't play a popular deck, so get to net decking. Benfrid. I thought it says bird for a second. Hey, we're gonna go first. And a 2-drop. And that's a lot of lands. Hello. Look at that, we're blue-eye control. Now we're Thalia. Thalia into Rafine, that is a good hand. Unless you get... No, I don't think he has a removal for Thalia. Alright, he can't remove Rafine either. He can remove Thalia, but he cannot remove Rafine. There it is. Two mana cut down. Graveyard Trespass. Oh no! That's not bad, but here's a Toulouse. And then we can pitch our... That is not a land. We'll pitch our Pilgrim. I have 2 of them. It's fine to get 1 underneath our Toulouse. We'll attack. And we will get Adeline. Still no lands. Come on. Now you can't cut this down. And we got a blocker. Not that we're going to block with it. Infernal Grasp. Hit another one. There you go. Good job. Don't want to block. I get to do 4 damage. How would I block? We can Adeline or we can Thalia. But Adeline is so much better for War Temple. Right? Yeah, that's a lot of Temple on board. And we can eat an Invoke if that should happen. Not drawing a 4th land in our 27 land deck. It's not like we mulligan or put anything back either. It's just the shuffler stated that you are making fun of me. Now you don't get to have a good game. I'm playing against Ben. I feel like I see this avatar a lot. And for some reason, every time I see this avatar, I get salty that I'm going to have a bad hand. I know it's not true, but it feels like it's true, you know? And feeling is half the battle.
You fight for me now.
Alright, well, that 2/3 is going to block a bunch of things, so... Does any of these matter in play? Whenever one of my opponent's creatures die. Now, I don't get any card draws, so... I do want to play Thalia, and I don't think dealing extra damage does much. Would he block everything? Block that way. Okay.
Without me,
wants to gain that life.
Doomed.
Wants to invoke me. No invokes. Invoke cost 6 this turn. Oh, I can't play anyways. Oh, it's actually Jun. I thought it was just a land in there for fun. Sometimes people do that. I did that yesterday. You know, if I had 4 lands, a lot of things can come out. But nah. Wow. Really? You sure you want to do that? When it was going to happen? Off, huh?
Oh, when I'm done with this hidden, streets will run.
Go sow some chaos.
I want to discard my AO. It's not coming out.
Pleasure doing business.
I forgot that it just goes under Toulouse. So it's not really discarding either. Alright, well, Thalia's gonna die from the little devil here. It's a lot of annoying planeswalkers out. I have no creature entering the battlefield. Except this one, I guess. That's a weird way to block.
Not worth the effort. No one beats me and survives.
Kills my Thalia. Bring on my Denic. Seiju. Look at all the lands he have. This is just not fair. Finally, we get land number 4 after 17 years. Alright, that 3/3 is probably just gonna block. It's fine. Denic's gonna... No, I want to have 2 Denics. If he invokes me, the Denik would just come back from the Ratatouille. Or that.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate when people touch my things.
Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
I'll just have 2 Adeline. Oh, it's only a 2/2? Doesn't it gain the Adeline ability? Equal to the number of creatures you control, yeah. I guess it doesn't have that ability for some reason. Okay, so... Well, if I attack with Adeline, I don't think he can block. Sadistic Pilgrim time? Sadistic Pilgrim time. This way, this attack triggers another attack, and he can't block both.
A delay, nothing more.
Now we have a board. We just need to get to land number 4. Another sword, nice. This deck is not bad, but it's just...
My will must prevail.
It's very hard
my
to...
own army.
Yeah, it's very hard to tempo our deck once we get the ball rolling. Our opponent's trying their best. Let's see, we gotta deal 2 damage, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I have to attack with Denik. It's fine, Denik will be back. With a vengeance.
Balance may never be restored now.
Okay, so I should probably make a flyer, right? I think a flyer is warranted here. And I can still protect my graveyard while I can. Alright, we're getting a lot of life thanks to Ratatouille. His cooking is always appreciated. And they quit. GG. Like I said, all we need is 4 lands. All we need. And we have 4 Plaza of Heroes. We drew all 3, and we did not draw a single other land other than the first attack our waste in the beginning of the game. Freaking annoying. But we pulled it out. And that's all we need. So let's look at the deck, right? I think it's a good deck. Honestly, this is probably one of the more fun decks to play because you can flex on your opponent a little bit. And it's very expensive. It is what it is. If you look at the deck, right, and there is no 1-drop that's really good to put in your deck. A lot of people want to put Ashnot. I just don't like having a 1-drop that's only in there for the sake of being on the back foot, because if you're on the back foot, you are not going to win. If you play Ashnot, since your opponent went first, it's a blocker, nothing else, and you're not really going to win that game anyways. So, when we look at this deck, it's very strong once we get the tempo off, and all we need is 4 lands for all these good plays. AO, as you saw, didn't really do much, and we didn't really need it to win any of the games. What happens is you have to hard mulligan for a 2-drop to play. Going second, going first, doesn't matter. You have to have a 2-drop to play, and hopefully you can follow that 2-drop up with a 3-drop creature. Not a 3-drop channel land, a 3-drop creature, because you have to get board presence. This whole deck is all about board presence. Now, if you go up against a blue-white control that has field cling, well, guess what? Ratatouille gives you more creatures once it gets field cling. So that is also important, and that's how the whole deck works. I think that's how everything should be planned out. Of course, Toulouse also gives you, card advantage back if she gets removed. We have Urtai to counter a board cling should that happen, like a Farewell. And then we have Ao to kind of stop a mini field cling with like a Depopulate or Burn Down a House, where if they kill everything, you can bring something back just by using the first ability. Alright, so this whole deck is very good. It's not the top tier of the meta, but it is close. So I would recommend it if you have the cards. Don't go and craft it, because even if you have all the best cards, you can see how frustrating it is when you don't draw them at the right time. So, you know, if you want to just run over your opponent almost every game, just play red burn or blue eye soldiers, and you will probably run over your opponent 60-70% of the time. This deck is more for thinking about what you want to play to tempo out your opponent in a fun way. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.